Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming back. If you're new to the channel, I like to get up in crawl spaces and dissect them. Guys, I came out with this video back in the summertime. This house was this is about almost I'm gonna have to say close to $1 million. Beautiful cobblestone on the outside. Obviously, I can't show the house because it's just privacy and all that, and I have to respect that. But we can have fun down here in the crawl spaces and pick on it a little bit. But in this case, this is going to be pick on it quite a bit because this one I had to do. I'm surprised I didn't get anywhere near the views on this, man. This is like one of my favorite videos I've done. Dual water heaters. Check this out. They got them on pads. I'm a huge fan of that. Huge fan. If you're gonna have it in the crawl space, at least put them on a pad. You don't have all that moisture beating it up on the bottom. You're still gonna have that humidity. You also have the HVAC on brackets hanging from the joist. You guys let me know in the comments if this is something you would do if you had to put this underneath the house. Would you hang the unit on the joist? This one was condensating quite a bit. But you guys, this one, you're going to check. Man, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to blow your mind today with this video. This is just condensation. The airflow in this crawl space is absolutely horrible. You can see all the condensation buildup on the bottom of this unit. That is just really taking a toll on that, on the crawl space, and rusting out the bottom of that pan. Think about it. Most of these units are on the ground, creating that same condensation. Would you guys hang these on your joist? I wouldn't ask the homeowner, but do you feel the vibration upstairs? There was a triple drop sill. Barely got to the pier. They ran the plumbing there, but they framed these houses before the plumbing even goes in. So they got to the edge of that pier. Wow. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen this one. I was scrolling through my videos, man. I was like, man, I remember that house. And I looked at my views, and I was like, man, I can't believe I barely got any views on this one. This was actually one of my favorites, and also because look how tall it is. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, 5.5 blocks, plus a little 1.5 inch. I had 19% moisture readings right over here, and like I said, it was hot outside. The humidity was horrible. The cross ventilation in this crawl space was absolutely horrible. So, but no question about it, this place needs a nice dehumidifier, seal off the vents. But that was my recommendation for this. I have no idea whatever happened, but sometimes I don't get to see what happens after my recommendations. Look, they barely got this one too. The masons and the carpenters weren't on the same page, but at least it's on there. I've got some videos where they just whiffed. You can see the mineral buildup on some of these duct lines. So this is the back porch, which is super cool. It had a huge back porch with the wonderful grill on there, man. There's snake poop. Look at that. Wow. Man, I'm going cold on this video. I got excited. I was like, I remember this, man. Because there's this one part I can't wait to show you guys. It is freaking, it's not hilarious, but it's pretty hilarious. Not a lot of people just don't really expect to see what I show them. This gas line right here was actually going out to the grill they had upstairs on that patio, which was so cool. Beautiful patio. What a great hangout, man. Great place to entertain people. But even these big crawl spaces, they give you all the bells and whistles with it. But look, all that is obstructing airflow into this area. And this is why you have all that condensation. You got another This is also part of that big patio. It's like a little crawl space area. I'm not gonna. I didn't decide to go in. You can see the pan. So this was all a poured piece of concrete up there. You can see all the condensation forming. Like a little cave, but all that humid air finds its way into the main living area, which I'm in now, and just starts causing too many problems. It was such a young house, and I don't. They've got to do something about this. I hope they did. Look, they got that one in the middle, and then this one, boom, right here on the edge of that pier. God. Yeah, it's a good thing. You know, they kind of got saved. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments what you think. Would you be okay with all that? I mean, it passed inspection, so I'm guessing it's all right. They're not putting too much weight only on one side of the pier, but this house is super, super top heavy. What a huge house. 2-story home. Absolutely massive. Has to be, I would have to say, that every bit of 6,000 square feet. You can see the brick. Water's coming in right into the brick. During times of rain, so that, you know, I definitely had put down as a recommendation to put a drainage system in some of the areas here. It didn't look like the whole crawl space needed a drainage system, but I know this area for a fact definitely took on some moisture. I did recommend a dehumidifier. You see all that right there, all that water coming in right into those brick areas where it's really porous. Pretty much where that line is, that water line, that's exactly where the soil is on the outside. So as that soil gets real saturated, it just finds its way through that. It's a single layer brick. Just a horrible construction. Not a big fan at all. You can even see some of the plumbing here is taking quite a beating on the humidity. Like I said, this house is way too young to be experiencing any kind of problems like this, and obviously the cost in relations to what it, you know, these people in this neighborhood aren't in need of any money. I can tell you that right now. But you can see there's a lot of areas where it's just filthy. It's pretty nice. I mean, you can smell the mildew. We're gonna get to this part here pretty soon. It just blew my mind, and I still to this day I talk about it because it's not the only scenario I've seen where that happened. But every time I do see something like that, I just can't believe it. Just right around this corner, I saw this duct line. It looked like it was sagging quite a bit. So there was a difference between watching it sag and then just seeing it. Looks like something was weighing it down. But I'm about to blow you guys' mind out. Look at this thing. So I saw a little bit of water there, and I saw that belly on this thing. Look at that. That's water. It's not, it wasn't from any water leaks upstairs. If you looked at the inside of this house, I mean, it's impeccable. I mean, you're talking a lot of money on crown moldings and all kinds of flooring. Just absolutely beautiful. This is condensation. This is that hot air beating up against these duct lines. Look at this. That is absolutely crazy. Looks like Coca-Cola. It just went on forever. You know, as that AC is running through these lines, finding its way into the rest of the home, you know, you're getting all that humidity into the house. That is an absolute crazy amount of water. I had to recommend an HVAC guy, but I'll be honest with you, it really has nothing to do with the HVAC. It's the crawl space needs a dehumidifier. I've done a lot of rechecks in the past where, yeah, there's another belly, where they did put a dehumidification system in the crawl space, and these things they didn't condensate anymore. Look at this. That's sick. Absolutely sick. A couple of other houses I've been to where, I mean, I've actually seen bigger bellies than that. I'm just blown away. And now every time I see something like that, it's well, you know, you got to poke at it and make a hole. What's the sense of seeing something so cool if you can't mess with it? Not really. I don't think I'm doing any kind of damage to it, but might have a little leak when the air conditioning is coming out. But I think the homeowner would much rather have me get that water out of there. I mean, it just keeps on flowing. This crawl space alone was about, I don't know, 2,600 square feet. Absolutely massive. I don't mind these this big when I can actually crawl around. When they're tight, if I'm not making a video on it, that means it's too tight. I don't want to get you folks all dizzy and all moving my camera around. But it's those real tight ones too that just they're just horrible. I find so many things. I'm like, man, I wish I would have brought my camera. We just circled back around to the HVAC. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of having it in the crawl space. You can see all the fungus and yuck. I like the bracket idea because depends, you know, if I can hear it clicking on and off and vibrating upstairs above it in that room, then obviously that's a problem. But if it's not, I'd much rather have it hanging like that than on the ground. Wouldn't be cool. Like I said, you guys let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments on that ductwork. Holy smokes. Have you seen anything like that before? I know you guys are always commenting from all over the country. I get people from Florida, Texas, up north. Everybody's always commenting their ways of repairing and doing things, and I truly appreciate that because there's so many different ways how you can repair things. Some things, yeah, I like to see those in boxes. Some things you know you have to follow code, and every state has their code. But even though you know you have a lot of tradesmen come in here and they just do things because you don't need to pull a lot of permits here. In sunny South Carolina. That's why I find so many problems. Just you really don't have to pull permits. I know some states you got to pull permits for farting in a crawl space. But I like the height. There's coming down here to doing some work. Doesn't matter what work you're doing. This is you open up this crawl space. There's one right down slab in the middle. You come into this crawl space, you're like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. This is a good day's work here. You can stretch, you can even sit back, relax, have your lunch down there. So yeah, but once again, I like to pick on these homes because this is where I find the most problems. I'm not a fan of crawl spaces. I'm a rock guy. I like to build my house on rock. That is my preference. But when I do see a crawl space, and when I do see a good one, I give shout outs to it. I've got some good videos out there of some nice crawl spaces with encapsulations, and they really took the time to correct it and make it right and livable. It even smells good. You can smell. You don't smell any funk like this one. You can actually smell the mildew. And people don't realize all that dust they keep getting accumulating inside their home. A lot of that comes from down here, from the attic, you know, coming through the ceiling. But it's also come right through your floors, all that dust. I think I end up circling back to this one and seeing how much more water we have pouring out. Look, I mean, it is an absolutely crazy amount of water. I didn't think it was going to be that much water. I knew we were going to get some, but that was just insane. I'm trying to remember. This was about a year ago, man. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I had too much contact with people. This was kind of one of those help yourself. I tried to reach out a couple times to make sure some of these things were addressed. Because I'm here to tell you, the worst thing to hear is when you see when you hear a new buyer buy a house. Let's say like this one right here. They moved in, and the last inspector didn't do anything. Didn't say, hey, listen, your moisture readings are a little high. You've got a little bit of mildew. Ventilation's a problem. You know, and he can just give like a recommendation, whether they do take it or not. I mean, for example, I just did one a couple of days ago, and there was a lake, and the lady reached back out to me and thanked me for the inspection, and they closed down the house. I said that there needed to be a French drain in the crawl space to take care of that water, and she was okay with that. And I'm really surprised that the lender allowed that to move forward. And we're not talking about this house was probably sitting very well into the 600s. I'm surprised the lender didn't force the issue. Look at that rust building up on the copper on the gas lines. So I mean, I don't know if the lenders are desperate right now because not a lot of action's happening in the real estate business right now. But I always hope that they take my recommendations seriously. I'm also not kind of one of those inspectors who, you know, everything I see, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I want you to fix that right there. I want some more plastic on that little section. No, if it's a problem, then at least I got to mention it. This is the other end of that gas line. Obviously, that gas grill wasn't connected. But it was a cool setup, and if that was a selling point for the house, you know, I would definitely like that. I'd like a gas line connected right to the grill outside. You guys let me know. Would you buy your own propane tank, or would you just go ahead and run a gas line if you had gas underneath the house right to it? A little dangerous. I don't know, man. I don't like messing around with gas too much. That's just, you hear too many stories. They are even around a lot of gas line around here. The worst feeling would probably be walking into your house and smelling gas. That'd freak me out. Any second, something's going to ignite it. Something you have running in the house that's got some flames on it. It's going to ignite it. This is the bottom of that porch. Look at that part of the porch. It's huge. I would cover this whole thing up right here. Look at all the storage space. And I'd create another little door right out there. Make a door. Use this for storage. Your lawn equipment. I mean, but these people have some loot. I'm sure they're probably not cutting their own grass. Maybe, maybe not. See that mineral buildup on down there at the bottom? There's that gas, part of that gas line. I'd definitely utilize this space for something. I don't know, make it an option. If I was a builder, I definitely would have put a door. I don't know what that all is. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta take a guess to see what's going on, because you have a lot of people coming in after they built the house and run some funky stuff that you're trying to figure out. And most of it you can't make sense of it, especially when you get into the older houses where they just keep adding on to it sections at a time, and you've got tradesmen going in there for the last 50 years, all kinds, putting their hands on it, and you're just trying to figure out, why, or is it going to work? Is it still working? Is it connected? Is it not connected? Especially with the wires. You guys know how I feel about electrical wires. It's one of those things when I was younger, I got zapped real bad. I'm always cautious with these wires, especially when I see these wires and the ground's wet. That'll make for a good video. Get zapped, phone falls down, wake up, hopefully. Let you guys know I just got zapped. the video just kept recording while I was napping. But this is I would encapsulate the entire crawl space, even inside this area. You can see the bottom of the pan where the concrete's above the slab. It starts rusting out. This house can't be any more than 15, 17 years old. It's a baby. And we're already starting to have some problems. So when they built this, they should have, I don't know. I see some builders, they put in encapsulations. They don't even put vents on the house. They go ahead and encapsulate it. Yeah, it's up to the homeowner to make sure that the humidity is the dehumidifier is functioning at all times. I mean, that's an extra cost, an extra maintenance, but it's worth it, especially here in the South where humidity is not our friend. Maybe a few months out of the year, we have some nice cool weather, but for the most part, not really. It's just too humid, too hot. The unfortunate thing is pretty much all the wood in crawl spaces are non-pressure treated lumber. They're not designed to help with moisture or insects like termites or beetles that are constantly infesting these areas. Mice getting up in the insulation as usual. Look at that. Usually that's like one of my talking points. You can see that. That's why that snake poop was over there, because it was just following the mice. He's probably chilling out in one of these insulation pieces. He knows I'm in there. But they're going to chill. For the most part, they're just black snakes. They get pretty big. They'll score a meal. Find a nice mouse come in every once in a while, maybe a chipmunk. They'll score a meal. They do good. They do really good here in South Carolina. They do. They try to keep. We try not to kill them. And then you've got those homeowners who are constantly killing the snakes, blaming every snake, saying it's a copperhead. I'm like, not as many copper. We do have some here, but not as many. I'd see a lot if that was the case, because I'm always out in the brush and hanging out. I don't get to see too many of those. You guys hit that thumbs up. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments, man. Let me know how you feel about this house. Very expensive. It's still leaking water. Those duct lines. I hope I get to go back out to that house. I mean, that was very interesting. I hope they fix that problem. I truly, truly do. Because in my view, that's not good. And it's just all that humidity. Yeah, it's still dripping water. That thing is like it created a pond over there. Wow. That is a lot of water. If you guys got any value out of this video, hit me up with a like and a comment. Let me know where you're commenting from. I want to know where you guys are at. It means a lot to me. Had somebody from California not too long ago. I know you guys are experiencing some stuff over there. God bless you all, man. Let me know what's going on. See ya.